Hello, Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to Lemon Steers, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for Star Wars: The Skeleton Crew, Episode 6. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Shall I'm to leave a like, comment below, let them know your thoughts on Star Wars: The Skeleton Crew, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into the review, shall we? So, if you've been following me for a little bit, I do have some problems when it comes to the show. I think this is still a very promising show. Hell, I think it's still a very good show. Do I think this is going to be the show that saves Star Wars? No, I don't. But I do think this is a show, once people give it the chance to watch, then they'll be like, okay, you know what? Maybe I will check out Grogu Mandalorian, even though I think people are going to check it out regardless. That's the only thing I can think of that's coming up next. But when another Star Wars project comes along, they're like, okay, I'm willing to give it a shot because Skeleton Crew was actually really pretty decent. So I'll see what else they can do over here. I just think, one, the whole business side of it, I don't think this is a show that needs to drop on primetime every single week. I think this is going to be one of the lowest viewed episodes overall, and this may be the episode that kills it on this because, again, New Year's Eve, dropping at 8 p.m. I really hope Disney understands that, hey, not a lot of people are going to be yearning to go and watch this new television show. They're going to want to party on it. So maybe the numbers come in on New Year's Day and it's a little bit better. I still think, we probably should bump this up to a 3 p.m. drop time. Not every show needs to drop at prime time. You've done it with What If. You dropped it at midnight. Those new episodes at midnight every day. This one could have easily dropped at 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Did not need to be an 8 p.m. showing, especially for it to be more directed towards children than adults themselves. But adults can easily enjoy this show, and this episode in particular is what we've been missing, because I like the last two episodes. I kind of dog on them a little bit because when it comes to the overall arching story of the show, it's a little bit of a whiplash. But as individual episodes, all episodes have been good as individuals, if you don't take it in for the whole entire scope of the show. Every episode on its own is very good. It's just, especially within those last 2 weeks, there's been a little bit of whiplash, and I just think some of the booking of it and some, the structure of the show overall is just, caused a little bit of, well, you thought of like this way, now you're thinking about this way. And there was a little bit of that here as well between Fern and KB, where Fern is still just trying to make all the orders and have all these different things. And this was really KB's episode for the most part, where they're going, look, I can't always do what you want me to do. There's going to be other different ways. Can you listen to other voices? Like, everyone's just trying to tell Fern, just chill out for a little bit. And later on in the episode, we do have a moment with Fern where she does realize the error of her ways. And I just got to say, I didn't really feel that. Now, I did feel KB's part very, very much, before we even get more into that, the direction of this episode was absolutely phenomenal. I was literally thinking about that as this was going on. I was like, man, whoever is directing this really understands television, really understands Star Wars, really understands the whole of why we are here. Because I'm telling you, the tempo was amazing. Never felt the urge to check my phone. Never felt the urge to go into the other room to check the score of the college football game that was on, Penn State versus Boise State. Never had that urge whatsoever. Once I pushed play on this, this show said, hey, I have your attention right now, and you're not leaving this room for the 40 minutes, and you're not going to check that smaller screen that's next to you at all. And I did not. The tempo, great. Structure was really good. I like how there was individual arcs. Again, that's television. Within these episodes, within the 20 to 40 minutes that you are going to be spending time with these characters, they need to have individual arcs within that episode that also helps push the narrative of the overall story. And this episode absolutely did that. And I was like, man, whoever did this just has a lot of experience. And then sure enough, once it says directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, I was like, of course, the woman who always directs the best episodes of The Mandalorian, she's here doing this as well. And yep, she just had to steal the show and say, all right, boys, did the best episode. Good luck, John. And then rolled on out. Again, we just need to continue to pursue that she gets her own movie. Because again, she always knocks it out of the park with the 20 to 40 minutes that she gets per episode. Just imagine what she could do with feature length. Or just give her a whole show. Because again, she just understands it completely. All right, in these episodes, what do these characters need to arc from? Okay, now how does this overall pursue the overall story? Like, I could just see that she has these questions and she has these conversations as they're meeting up to make into this episode. Because man, what KB was going through, and she's with Wim and they're following these snails, which even for KB's standpoint, I'm like, it's a little weird. I can see Wim saying, yeah, let's do this. And it was also cool seeing them with the people that they're not usually with. Neil and Fern are together. KB and Wim are together, and they're following these things, and Wim's going, now, do you really believe me, or are you just mad at Fern? And KB doesn't have the urge to say, yeah, no, I didn't really believe you. I just didn't want to climb, and I can't climb because I'm about to die. And that moment where KB's down, and him and her and Wim are having this conversation as he's trying to build her up, which again, great use of direction, because I am like, okay, Wim, I'm gonna need you to hurry it up. Now, this isn't just because of Bryce Dallas Howard's episode. This is from everything before too, because I like KB. I think she is going to be an amazing mechanic in her future within this Star Wars universe. Just going to be a real true boss. And she's low-key kind of the MVP of the whole entire season, along with Neil. And, them having the conversation, she goes, look, if I tell her I can't do it, I just don't think she'll be my friend anymore, because she doesn't have time for that. And we do see that from Fern from time and time again. I am hard on the character. Again, the character. The actress does a great job. I'm never gonna, bully a young actress, but the character, yeah, I have those qualms with, like KB has, quite a bit. And she goes, I just don't think she'll be my friend, because again, I can't do those things. She doesn't have the time for it. She goes, well, and Wim's going, look, I don't know about that. I think she would be, but if she does, then you got me and Neil. We can all be friends together. And then, of course, against the race to clock, he does save her. And again, back to the direction, where he does put that in and then she shuts down. I'm like, no, this is a fake out. But then when we pan back to both of them and there's no music playing, and again, it's just, they have the patience to go, give it a couple seconds. Okay, we're gonna wait a little bit longer. To really buy into it, because me, who I do feel like I could pick up notions, I could pick up what they're gonna do and how they're gonna do it, I went, no, it's a fake out. No, they went, okay. Like, that's it. That's what happened to me. It got me to bite. It added that 1%. And you need a lot of that within the show. And I would have had another moment within that too if it wasn't for the damn recap. But we'll get into that a little bit. And the whole Fern and Neil one where, they're both climbing. And she's like, Neil, we can't keep stopping. He goes, well, I'm not built like you. I can't do the things that you do. And, that's supposed to be the moment, right? That she's like, you know what? Maybe KB was right. But she gets the rope, and he starts helping him up. Then we have the moment where they all get back together when they jump off to get their ship, and they save them from the keen crab who was going to eat them. And she's giving the hug. She goes, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I didn't really feel like you got there. And that's really the only main negative criticism that I have within the episode, that is within the actual structure of the episode. The only problem I have is that, I watch a lot of content, right? So I do need the recap to help me freshen up, to be like, okay, yeah, no, I know exactly where we're at with everything now. But when it kicked off from something from episode 2, or was it episode 3? We're now episode 6, and it has been brought up since, where they have this button, and it goes, don't press that button. It's going to destroy the ship. It's going to do all these different things. Never press this button. And that's how the recap kicks off. I'm like, okay, well, they're going to press the button in this episode. And sure enough, again, the ship, they're trying to break away from this Toy Story 3-like machine, that burns everything, that burns all the trash within this planet. And they're like, okay, we got to push this button. No, you should never push this button. And, I just would have preferred, throughout the whole show, it was like a constant thing, like, whoa, don't push the button. Whoa, don't push the button. Whoa, don't push the button. Because we really only had that moment in episode 2. And then we got to it right over here in this episode 3 weeks or 4 weeks later. And again, to start to recap with that off, it just takes out any of the drama, if you will, for the finale. Because while they're all sitting there, like, what do we do? Do we push this button? Do we not press this button? And, sure, as soon as they present the button, then yeah, she's going to press it and it's all going to be okay and everything's going to be good. But before that, while everything's going down, okay, Wim's going up to go shoot. KB's going to push the blasters through. The blasters aren't working. Oh my God, what do we do? Again, that adds that 1% because, Jude Law's the main draw. And, he had his own little journey over there with the pirates to convince him to come over. And it does look like maybe he will stay the bad guy. moving forward. But I am still thinking they're all going to get to add in. The Pirates are going to go run amok, destroy the whole entire city, if you will. They're going to try to get these kids, and then Jude Law's going to have a change of heart and like, oh, now we're all one big happy family. But, you know, he's doing his own thing. I'm like, well, maybe it becomes his show and it's about him fighting through these pirates. And if he makes it through, I didn't think that. But, you know, if I didn't have that recap, maybe that 1% is added is all I'm trying to say. But a much better episode than it was last week. Cannot wait for the next week's episode, as it is the penultimate. Only got 2 episodes left. Let me know what y'all think about it down in the comments. If you made it this far within the review, please leave a like. I do appreciate that. And of course, hit that subscribe button to help to come along for this final ride. Got a lot of things planned this year. Thank you for watching. If you watched in 2024, make sure to check out my top 10 video list. And until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.